Yeah, hi. My name is Guadalupe, and this is the part two of Lamont, California. And I'll say that I wish my friends could see this. So now you know how old I am, right? Oh man. Anyways, no, because see, nowadays, my friends, right, I have no contact with them. Right now I'm living in Brooklyn, New York, and I lived there in Lamont, California for forever, until that I went to school, right. And then I decided to, go to school. I completed my education and everything, right. Psychology. I got like about 8 degrees, but this right here is not about, my education. I'll make a video of that later. Anyway, so this is about in Lamont, California, and I'll see now about almost all my friends that I grew up with and went to school, they passed away already, you know, and time flies by so fast that I wish I could look them up, and find them. In fact, I did, but I couldn't find them. Most of them they already passed on, and the ones that I don't know about, it's hard to find them. So who knows? Hopefully they come across this vid. I'm gonna say, hey guys, how you been? It's me, Guadalupe. And I want to say I'm sorry about everything in the family. Hey man, I was, oof, I'm not gonna go there, right? Don't touch it, man. Don't back in the day, right? Oh man, you know what I mean? Ooh man. Hey, but I just want to say, tell my friends, if you're still alive, I want to say, hey, back in the day, cholos. Have you heard about that? Cholos, pachucos, and stuff like that. Lamont, California was a town like that. It was nothing but cholos that lived there, pachucos, And why that is because a lot of the families came from Mexico, to Mexico, from Mexico, and they worked there because Lamont was a town that nobody wanted to go in there. If they passed it, man, they just flew by because in that town there was a lot of murderers there. I ain't lying. I'll be honest with you. Things happen at night, and so I'm not gonna go into all that. But I had lived with, the Pachuco era, the cholos and everything, and I had a phase and all that there, right? And oh man, the music, right? The lowriders, you know what I mean? We had well, not we, but yeah, well, let me see. It was my aunt, Ruthie, oh man, I love her to death. She was in a car club too. Oh, Ruthie, I'll let you see this, all right? Don't get out. Yeah. I'm not gonna say, the stuff they ain't supposed to be said, though. Okay, you know what I mean? Okay. Hey, but yeah, she was in a car club too. I forgot, Ladies of the Night or Ladies something. Classic Ladies, I think. Classic Ladies, my Aunt Ruthie and who was it, Delia? Aguilar, her friends down the road, Diane, yeah, hey Diane and them and her older sister, I forgot her name, and so they had the car clubs, and where I was from, Lamont, California, was known to be a very tough town to live in. Boy, these people protected, that town, because stuff was, ooh, I can't get into all the other stuff, but I'll explain that, the cholos and pachucos had lived there. And what's the difference of a cholo and a pachuco? All I know is that my cousins, they would wear, some nice, man, pleated down iron khakis, iron shirt with pleats in it, a white shirt, a blue shirt, right? With pleats in it, ironed, ironed the shirt for hours, man, because I used to go to my cousin's house and my prima too, Ana and them, Gloria. Oh man, I miss them so much. Anyways, I used to be at my cousin's house. I go, hey man, how come you ironed that so long? He goes, hey, that's the way it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? And I go, no, I don't. You know, what's up? You know, but you know what? The difference of a Pachuco and a Cholo, the Pachuco, man, they really dress good. I like the shoes, the spit shine, nothing but shoes all the time. You know what I mean? And then they got the pleats on pants. You know, then you know they got the during the summertime. You know, the tank top, right? The bandana. You know, then they got the hats on. You know what I mean? And then they got the zook suit during, you know, the cold season, or they wore it too during the, you know, the hot as well. The cholos more in the khakis, you know what I mean? Khakis, and they were all khaki down, you know, and hey, you say what's going on, man, you know, with the bandana on the side, you know what I mean? And then the music, oh my God, who was that? Huggy Boy, Huggy Bear from LA that used to do the dedications, right? You know, my friends would call in and they say, hey, you know, my nickname in the past was Chinito. You know, they used to call me Chino, you know, as I grew up when I was little. Because of Filipino, right? You know, being a Filipino, right? You know, so we got these, you know, Chinese eyes, you know. Anyways, but they used to call Huggy Boy, I think his name was, you know, I think he passed away already, you know. But people would call all over the world, or in, you know, California, South California, and you know, calling for his not donations, but what's that called? You know what? To play a song, you know, they used to call it. Oh my God, it's been back in the day. Yeah, request for a song. You know, so the friends would call in and make a request. Yeah, here's my Jaina, you know, loca, you know, she's over here, you know, baby, you know, I want to dedicate a song, you know, I do love you to her. You know what I mean? Back in the day, man, woo, man, ciao, you know. And anyways, so the Cholos would do a lot of that, you know, chill out. And so, see, Lamont, you know, was a town. Oh my God, oof. They had some good fighters there. Ooh, a lot of the people there from Lamont were hip boxers. You know what I mean? They were hip boxers. You know, they used to fight. In fact, my uncles would put us, you know, in the ring back in the backyard, put us age 5 or 6, you know, to fight. You know, fists. You know, to make us strong. You know what I mean? You know, just that's the way it was. You know. I come from a large family, Contreras, right, in Lamont, California. And if you was ever to ask anybody, hey, have you heard about the Contreras? Oh, man, they'll turn their head. What? No, man, we don't. You need to take a while because, hey, I didn't know until I got older. Hey, my family came from Mexico, Michoacan, Sinaloa, you know, from over there. Juarez, you know, out that way, and then they just didn't, you know, have no experience, you know. In fact, you know, my grandma, you know, they told her if she was gonna stay with, you know, my grandpa to never come back to the family, you know. So Juanita, you know, lost all her family because my grandpa was a certain, you know, person from a certain area. I'm not going to get into all that, you know, private stuff. You know, I can't. You know what I mean? You know, because I don't want to disrespect the family. But they crossed, you know, they crossed over everybody. The eight, 7 kids that they had, they crossed, you know, from over there, Michoacan, you know, to San Diego, and they came, you know, to Lamont, California. That's where most of the immigrants that would come in from San Diego would come to Lamont to work there if they were able to make it there, right? And then too, they had the coyotes. You know what I mean? You know what a coyote is, right? It's the one that just brings them over, man. So we had a friend named Cucharas. You know, his name. You know, the real name. You know, it doesn't really matter. I think right now he lives in Mexico, man. You know, but Cucharas were like, there's a coyote, man. Hey, when these guys, you know, would go and and plant, you know, onions and pick the field, you know, work. All my family, you know, that were from over there, right? They came over here, and then I went with them, you know, to go and to the fields to work. They were fast. I was just there. They helped me, to finish all my work. Planting onions, in a row. It would take like, like 12 hours to do it, man. They finished like 20 rows, man. Their thumbs, were so like callous, and I would put in my, a fresh thumb right inside the ground. It hurt so hard, because of the dirt clods and rocks. Oh man. Anyways, but getting back to Lamont, it was a town. They had a lot of cultures. The Pachucos, the Cholos, and boy, these guys they knew how to fight. And so that's what the town was about. They just it was immigrants. The Spanish immigrants, Filipinos, right? They came from Philippine Islands, and then so everybody found a work there. They had some Americans too that came from Oklahoma, from the dust times in Oklahoma. From my last vid, I spoke about that. Anyways, but yeah, that town, it was known to be like that. So whenever they had money, my family and everybody and the friends that lived there, they got into, low riding. And low riding, have you ever heard of a magazine called Low Rider? Well, I remember that there was a guy that would come to Lamont. He came in with people that he knew that he didn't come in because see, that's just the way it was. Lamont, nobody came in unless they knew somebody there. It was crazy, So he came in, he knew our family. He came in, with our family. And this guy, he went around taking pictures. Just a ordinary cheap camera, right? Then he got the person's name, he made a dedication. Here's, Chino and his cousin, Rocky, Moses, Vio, Ana, Gloria, they were all right there. And, my brother Frank, my carnala Stasia, she was small back then. Mom always, took care of her, she would come to the park too as well. Then, right, so we put her in there too, had her in, también our carnalita, Stasia. So the guy, he would take a picture of us. And then he would, after that, put down the Lamont, California, homies and homeboys, chilling out here at the park, just chilling, and the dedication song is I Do Love You, So the next day, see, we heard that on, the request, and this dude, he went around to the parks all over South California, taking pictures, right? And that's how they started, right? You know what? The Lowrider magazine. Wow, man. I remember the first volume that came out. And we're in there too. My family and them were in there, right? But it's been years. I don't remember what volume it is, but yeah, that's how it started. It's called the Lowrider magazine. Nowadays, it's just, oh man, the cars, boy. Oh my God. They got candy apple paint jobs on it, but back in the day, the cars weren't, rolling the way they are nowadays, but they started off like that, and then, but what they had more back then were older cars, right, that were like original, that was nice, man, and, oh man, it was, so nice to see that. So whenever you ever hear a Lowrider magazine, go on the internet, say the history of it, how it started, right? It's a guy, going around, taking pictures. And so we really appreciate that, a lot, so much, And then too, I remember there at the park, right? The card club they had there was Unidos, right? Unique, the Uniques card club. It was there in Lamont, and oh man, the members, everybody would park all around the park like that during the baseball games. And it wasn't only on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, but nah, man, it was like an everyday thing when they had like a game, right? Or two, when people wanted to hang out after work. The card club, it was, God, what was it? Uniques, I think that's it. But they, all the members, it was everybody from Lamont, you know. They had that car club right there. You know that, and then back in them days, right? They had jackets, you know, with the patch in the back, right? See, they had, you know, the Jokers, you know what I mean? The Jokers, the Undertakers. They had the little Undertakers, right? And then, oh my God, they used to have on that patch. Remember that series, you know, called Happy Days, right? Fonzie and stuff like that, you know. That's the way it was, you know, them kind of gangs like that. They had there in Lamont, you know, people had like the coat on and the coat on the back, you know, the patch. They would have on a trench. Excuse me. They would have on a trench that had all the names of the members, you know. And I go, wow, man, that's nice, you know. And then, so that's the way, yeah, it was, you know. And then to the female, they had a female club called, oh my God, that's the one that my aunt, she was in. It was the Classic Ladies, I think. Classic Ladies, I think that was it. And they had her there, and Lowrider magazine, when, you know, they took a picture of them, the Uniques as well. And then, but, you know, back at that time too, right? See, they had battles, you know, people that would come from other towns, right? They used to come into our town to eat, you know. Oh my God, you know, these car clubs, right? And then Arvin would come to Lamont. Oh man, it was on, you know. So they would see somebody there from Arvin because they had on the jacket, you know. You know that they had on the patches and stuff. They say, hey, you know, it just, you know, was friction for somebody that was from another culture. I mean, another, you know, territory, you know, coming into Lamont, and that's, so they just started. And as usual, mom would, you know, would find out stuff like that's happening, because my mom, she worked for the welfare, and so for some way, she knew about it. In fact, you know what? I think somebody, she had a connection that she would call somebody. Somebody would tell her, hey, what's up? Tell you the truth, I never thought of that till now, man. Out of all these years, you know what I mean? Oh, mom, she had the, you know what? She had that info, man. You know what? Somebody gave her the lowdown on everything, man. You know that? And anyways, but yeah, so that was the day, you know, at that time, you know. Anyways, it's 17 minutes now. I'm gonna close this here. I'm gonna continue part 3, okay? Lamont.